All right, test 1, 2. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, looks like it. Check test 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Check audio 1 and 2. It's good. All right, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome in. A minute 03 to go in the second period. To those of you who are just joining us, more than halfway through this game, 1-0 the lead in favor of Davenport after losing in overtime yesterday to the St. Northwood squad, 2-1. We'll try our best to set the table for you as we get ready for period at number 3. Now officially inside of a minute as Joppy lofts it in along the backboards. It's picked up there by Northwood as they try to advance it up the sideboards. Northwood's had a few different opportunities to score in this game. Davenport coming with a little bit of an edge tonight as we have a jousting match. Draws the game to a close here momentarily with just over 42 seconds to play. 42.2 to go in period 2. Just one goal separating the two. That was Matt Carlson, first in his career at Davenport back in period 1. Freshman forward got goal number 1. This is a team now embarking on a new season with new visions of hardware in a program that's been there once before back in 2011. Now 14 years later, trying to revamp what was at one point a national championship winning program here in Davenport. Finished last year right around 500. Northwood wins back the draw. Sogelstein throws it on, but can't find an open territory as it's ripped right back by Davenport, who clears the lane. Minute 48 to go on that penalty with 28 seconds to go in the second period. Holding on to a 1-0 lead. Trying to play with an edge, trying to play with an attitude as Garber tries to cut his way through the defense. Loses it along the backboards. It's Jake Alton who jabs away at it, but Northwood gets it back to the blue line for a wrister that's chopped wide of the post. Rebound opportunity kicked up into the netting in 7.6 to play in period 2 in a 1-0 lead for Davenport. But it was a controversial ending to their opener last night. It's a Davenport team that has, again, worked tirelessly to revamp this program, but Northwood got away with a tripping in overtime, worked back the turnover, and ended up scoring to win that game 2-1 in OT as they try a centering drive that hits a body there, and it'll get pinned up in the corner and bring our second period to an end. Well, we only had you for a minute there, but we'll break down everything that's happened in this one as we head into the third period. It's D1 program looking for win number 1, and they hold a 1-0 lead as we go into the third period. We'll be right back, give you a breakdown of everything that's happened so far as the Panthers try to close it out and get win number 1 and the DU Sports Network. Flow Sports. Well, it was just one night ago that Davenport carried a 1-0 lead deep into a game in Midland, Michigan. They ended up coming up short in overtime in that game. Here today, once again, they're up 1-0. And they're playing with a man advantage here to begin this period. Check that. Five-a-side hockey to begin period number 3. Welcome back in, everybody. Just one goal separating the two sides. Quick wrister here from Northwood, whistled wide of everything. Garber had a lane but couldn't put it on target. Lone goal here tonight, Matt Carlson goal. Number 1 in game number 2 is a Panther. How about a pretty feed for a shot that's turned away in net? It's been a night here tonight for Kyler Loudon. He's been using that glove wonderfully. Another open opportunity that they can't take advantage of, and they're able to clear the zone here with 35 seconds to go. On this man advantage for Northwood. 12 shots on goal for Davenport tonight, 17 on the other side for the T-Wolves. Here on the road at Patterson Ice Arena for the first time this year after winning their division just last year. A backhanded feed in front, and it's kicked aside. Cameron Duffany was the recipient of it as it squirts into the corner, where it's chased down. Zach Schneider trying to provide pressure, and it's finally worked free back to the blue line. They throw it near side. Bedenko plays it around the backboards. Jake Alton inches it along further, back out towards center ice, and then an offsides for Northwood will bring the play to an end with 18:34 to go in this third period. But Davenport certainly benefiting from the likes of the junior and Kyler Loudon in net. Just over 2.5 goals allowed on average in 2024. Third season with Davenport, over 1,000 saves coming into this competition tonight for DU. Wearing those new look threads here in 2025. Red exterior around the numbers, the red lettering along the back. They have hints of Red Wings. A turnover for Northwood, and it's jarred free. Owen Cruston got the turnover back and then got it taken away from him. So whistle brings play to close. Here with 18:18 to go in this third period. In a 1-0 lead for Northwood. Of course, on the other side, got to think about Peter Baldwin at the same exact time. Baldwin in net here tonight for Northwood. It was Mason Matthew who's also a big part of this team. Just 1.5 goals against average last season. He was lights out. Garber throws one in the direction of net. Wide of Kyler Loudon, though, as it's picked right back up, and they reverse it to Loudon at the blue line. Off to his right, Sigmund settles it into the middle. Now a centering drive, and it's netted right into the big glove of Kyler Loudon in net tonight for Davenport. One of the assistant captains on this team. Braun and Paulette, and we've seen many a times in this game here for Davenport tonight. Captain for this team here in 2025. Draw one back by Davenport. Northwood has done a good job at applying consistent pressure. Muscled out by Noah Bradburn, but the T-Wolves get it right back as they'll dump and look to chase. Tegan Schurer right there. Reverses to the blue line, where it's picked up. Leo Crawford throws one in the direction. And back behind everything as it's pinned up along the backboards and ripped right back by Northwood. They've been good on the forecheck. Todorovic into the corner. Now backhanded in front and mishandled. Stain couldn't get a shot off. Davenport takes it right back. Physical bout between these two sides. Now Jacob McClellan weaving his way through, looking to center one off the backhand. Carries it behind goal where he has it jarred free momentarily, but is able to get it back as he finds Adam Mule, who will again feed it along further. Tegan Schurer attempting to find a lane. Ricocheted off his stick as McClellan reverses it out for a lane, and a shot that rips the net. Alex Bedenko levels us at 1 here in period 3. We're all tied with 16:51 to play. He had an assist a night ago that helped deliver Northwood that season opening win. And now he has the game tying goal with 16:51 to play in period 3. Draw one back by Northwood. We'll start again. Davenport trying to use a lot of pressure with their physicality and chippiness, but now a 2-on-1. And just like that, they take the lead. Guess who? Bedenko. Just seconds after he ties the game, it's 2-1 T-Wolves. And literally seconds later, 12 seconds to be exact, timeout taken for Davenport. Jeremy Boltema, his first season in the head coaching role, will talk things over with Davenport in a 1-1 tie, 16:39 to play. This is ACHA Hockey on Flow Sports. I think we're having a little bit of deja vu here tonight. Northwood was able to rally to a 2-1 win just a night ago in overtime. They were down 1-0 coming into the third period. And now 2 goals in a matter of seconds. Bedenko adding both of them. Sophomore out of Macomb, Michigan. That time, that last one off the turnover from the forecheck. And he makes it a 2-1 lead in favor of Northwood, or at least I believe. The board itself is not reflecting that. It says 1-1 ties. This one kicks up into the bench. And now I'm starting to wonder if anybody else is seeing this. There we go. Okay, I'm not crazy. It is, in fact, 2-1. Draw one back by Northwood. I was wondering how long we would go with anybody noticing that. Northwood creating a 2-on-2 chance as they filter it along further. Mikola has it ripped back from him, and then one that's thrown on quickly, that time by Croston, but nothing doing there. These turnovers in the defensive zone are absolute killers for Davenport. It's becoming more and more so in this third period. An attitude change for DU, but they have to have it result in goals here in this third period to put themselves back in position. Handling the game physically, we've seen that all game long. Need one more to get back into it as this one squirts wide for an opportunity, but won't get through. It's still loose in front. Wrister sent on and wide. Mikola got it back in a prime spot. Northwood's been able to hit on the counter tonight. Not that time, as it's taken away off the stick of the aforementioned Luke Mikola. Northwood will backhand it into the zone. Todorovic looking to chase it down. Being chased, Dylan Joppy, who loses the handle. And then it's taken away. Looked like Massaro would have a chance to walk in on net, but being ping-ponged around, still loose in front as it's paddled along the boards. And muscled free by Simon Davidson, and nearly an own goal. I'm not convinced that Kyler Loudon thought he would have to save one from one of his teammates tonight. But if he doesn't kick that one out, it's a 3-1 lead for Northwood. Trevor Stengling slow back to his feet. looked like he got caught up at the boards, waving over towards the Davenport bench, and now some pleasantries being exchanged between both sides. One side saying scoreboard, and who knows what Davenport's saying back. 2-1 Northwood with 14:41 to play. And after the result last night, just seems like DU tried to carry that emotional energy into this game. There was an understanding, at least from the coaching staff, that they were ready to play and not done just yet, offsetting Miners. And it means a little 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute 50. Northwood can play with speed, and they'll look to do so. Bedenko stopped by Loudon. Rebound opportunity is sliced out north of the blue line. Brendan Bauer there to take it back for Davenport as now they swing right back in. Looking for a one-time chance, but that opportunity shut off McClellan. As the avenue and the window closes quickly, as Brendan Bauer will give it off to Carlson, and then right back to Bauer with a wrister. That's wide. Just sent it wide of that right post and then gets upended. So I believe the goal gets dislodged with 1:20 to go on the four-side penalty with 14 minutes to play. We're talking about Jeremy Baltima, first season in the head coaching spot. Shane Haggerty, his assistant for this Davenport team. Played at Grand Valley State, and he was good with the Lakers. 101 assists in 103 games during his time in the ACHA. So 101 and 103, you do the math. That's nearly one a game. Not too bad as a table setter. Also head coach at Hudsonville for a stretch of time. 1:08 to go on the four-side penalty. 13:47 in the third period. DU down by 1 as this one kicks up into the netting. Off the wrister from Jack Kelly, and we'll do it again with 13:42 to play in 1:02 on that penalty. But Shane Haggerty, one of the new additions into his first season at Davenport. And then Sean Judd, the new sports performance coach, reinventing their entire training regimen. Trying to get the most out of this squad this year. Asolani has it cycled away off his stick. Davenport will start it up the other direction, and it starts with Brian Fenlon, who carries it along in those backboards, and then a backhand attempt out in front, but nobody there. Instead, Kelly from the blue line, punched away, but not out of danger yet. Rebound opportunity, and finally they're able to corral it. And all the credit in the world to Peter Baldwin late in this game. Allowed one to get by earlier. Since then, he's been able to buckle down and hold down the fort for Northwood. 13:15 to go in this third period. Now 35 seconds on that penalty. Of course, biggest part of sports performance in hockey, a four-a-side penalty where you have four guys on each side. It's going to make you tired. Getting their legs hold up in this third period. Northwood trying to deliver the body. Davenport trying to avoid some of those mistakes in their own zone. As they chip it onto the stick of Robert McLaughlin, but has it ripped away. It still bleeds in along those backboards, and a sandwich there as they try to fight it back. McLaughlin in a wrestling match. Northwood finally gets it free, and that penalty is over. So back to 5-on-5 we go. Garber carries it in, leaves it for a wrister, and a save by Loudon. Garber gave it up. And we'll dance afterwards, too. Donald Gooley couldn't get it through. Loudon went down and picked it with his glove, and it's still 2-1 with 12:32 to go. Davenport 17-19-0 last season. Ended up bowing out of the Great Lakes 6 conference tournament, losing to number 17 Purdue Northwest in that tournament. But believe you me, this is one of the hardest conferences in the ACHA. Home of 2023 national champs, Adrian College, and a lot of other top 25 teams. 2-on-2. Turned away, but Davenport keeps it inside the blue line as they cycle it into the corner. And then a centering attempt by Ryan Blackburn that can't get through as Northwood will look to rip and run the other direction. dancing his way through and puts it in. Owen Croston with a cross and a finish. And he lets the DU bench hear about it too. 3-1. The T-Wolves are rolling in period 3. Whatever it is about how Northwood's come out for this third period, they have found a switch. And they've made it count when they've needed to. Owen Croston knifing his way through the Davenport defense. Just swings it past Loudon. Pinned along those backboards. They finally do jar it free, and Davenport will have a chance to run with it. Stojewski. Now it's backhanded in the defensive zone of the T-Wolves, but they once again clear it out and then mishandled by McCullough. McClellan, one-timer, turned away. McCullough there at the last second to jar that puck free, and they survive. It was a momentary scare there, down by 2, still north of 10 minutes to go in the third period, and mishandled behind the net, but it's still saved. Rebound chance won't get in, and then it bleeds wide of the net. How that didn't get in, I'm not sure. Northwood gets away with one. And then a wrister that kicks off the glove of Loudon on the other end. Peter Baldwin playing on his head, and he needed to keep it out. 10:51 to go in the third period. DU, a little 3-on-3. Baldwin again punches that one away, and the T-Wolves will run, but not before a delayed call. It looked like that may have been an emotional reaction after a tie-up on the far end of the ice. It's something we were talking about. It's one thing to play with emotion, but you can't let them get the best of you, especially in this matchup. So evenly matched just a night ago. And obviously for Northwood, 28-2 last year, won the conference. Great Lakes Collegiate Hockey League. Swept the regular season and the postseason. Need to be playing with a little bit more poise. Kelly drops it off in the corner. Now gets it back and has a lane as he takes a wrister, and Baldwin knocks it down. Another great save, and it stops play with 1:48 to go on that penalty for Davenport. Now the legs may be starting to weigh on this Northwood team a little bit. A late opportunity for Davenport. Now 21 shots on goal for the T-Wolves into this third period. It's Kelly off the faceoff. Drops it off for Mikola, who gets it right back. Circles, looking for a lane. Nothing there, though. Drops it off. Stojewski off to his right. McKillen can't get it through, but it's Stojewski again who recovers it. Good pressure off the power play. Mikola winds, shoots, deflected wide. Saw a lane. It closed down quickly, and Northwood will clear the zone and force a little pressure at the same time. McMillan to Bauer. Now Kelly tries to circle around the defense as Bauer jars it free and keeps possession at the blue line with 1:06 to go on the penalty. Wrister in front, knocked down. Baldwin, a second chance. Cuts it off with the blocker, now inside of a minute to go on the penalty. 55 seconds. McMillan, give and go with Mikola. Mikola, Wrister, can't get the deflection they want. Spikes off the bad backboards. They had an opening, but nothing doing. And now Northwood will flip it end over end into the Davenport zone and shift some new bodies on with 35 seconds to go on the penalty. At 9:14 to play in period 3. DU Sports Network, ACHA Hockey, on Flow Sports. McMillan throws it in. Chance to throw one on. Baldwin saves it on the wraparound. Blackburn had a lane, and now a centering drive for a one-timer. They can't get solid contact on. McLaughlin back in the middle. Baldwin knocks it down. Referees intervene in the pushing and shoving. And now just 14 seconds to go on the penalty. Obviously a tough stretch to the year. Northwood 2 to begin this season. 2 winnable games for Davenport coming up September 26th and 27th. They got Drury in those 2 games in Springfield, Missouri. So a little road trip for this DU squad. In Fort Wayne, Indiana for 1 against Tech, and then back home on Saturday, October the 4th against the Warriors here inside of Patterson Ice Center. But you want a tough test to begin the season. Northwood has certainly been that. One back by Davenport as Blackburn tries to turn and fire one on net. Can't get enough on it. Joppy in the corner as they do get it back to the blue line. Now Joppy leaves one. McLaughlin can't feed it through, so instead he plays it off the backhand, and it sees that penalty draw to an end with 8:32 to go in the third period. Bryce Garber. Garber weaving, winding, can't find his way through. It is north of the blue line. Garber can't touch it. That allows Davenport to settle as they rush new bodies onto the ice, and they're seeing that clock now work against them with 8:11 to play. 3-on-2, wrister. Baldwin got a shoulder on it, but it does sputter in front of goal. Taken away, Tegan Schur trying to walk in, plays it off the board, now gets it right back. Schur spins, it looks for a centering pass. Duffany was there, but now puts him out of position. Kelly, they throw it back near side, and a good deflection. Colin Marsh, last second, able to jar that puck free, and it flips up into the netting and stops play with 7:46 to go. They're about as even as you can make these 2 teams to start the year, and why would you want it any other way? The perfect way to start the season. A wrister, Loudon, a save. He found himself on an island but couldn't sneak it past the goaltender, who gloves it with the glove, and 7:37 to go. We'll do it again. Mike Vizina, the head coach on the other side for Northwood. Been involved in this program and at Northwood University since 1987. He is a staple with the T-Wolves. And this is the line that has been dangerous for them. Alex Bedenko with 2 goals in a matter of seconds. That's completely flipped this game on its head here in period 3 with 7:14 to go. Colin Marsh plays it off. Blankenship probes and waits as he flips it to Bedenko, but has to play it in between the legs of Paulette as Blackburn will now get it back in the offensive zone. Blackburn, a wrister, and a deflection that sends it fluttering wide of everything. Zach Schneider ripped away from him inside of 7 minutes. Now 6:46 to play. Mike Vizina has been a big part of this Northwood program for a long time. They play it in. It will be an icing. No touch on the way in to the Davenport zone. So it stops play. We'll skate down the length of the ice with 6:36 to go in a 3-1 lead in favor of Northwood. Of course, the last of those goals finished off Owen Cruston with 18 goals and 10 assists a season ago. Another Michigan native out of Clarkston to make it 3 unanswered here in period 3. With only 6:36 to play. Mikola off the draw, plays in off the backhand where it's chased down. Blankenship, but they're able to get it right back. Can't capitalize on the one-time opportunity. Instead, it's north of the blue line where the aforementioned Mikola will play it off the boards, and Northwood will take it right back as it's lofted in, but Todorovic and frozen here by Loudon. Face off in the circle. Down in the Davenport zone. Jordan Cooper, head coach here for Northwood University. He played ACHA hockey at Central Michigan University, so a couple former ACHA players. Cooper himself with the Chippewas. That wrister off the drive, can't get through. Bryce Garber just tries to throw one on. He had 55 goals a season ago, or rather 55 career goals, I should say, with Northwood. Not 55 in one season, although that'd be impressive as they look to target him. Here with just north of 5.5 minutes to play in this third period. And Davenport searching for answers to try to avoid falling to 0-2 here on this early season. Garber nearly gets it back off the awkward deflection, but the Panthers are able to survive it momentarily. Stojewski tries to find Bauer middle, but he can't pull it in. Instead, Garber, a wrister, gets knocked down, but he gets it right back for a backhander. Loudon able to get on top of it. Pulls it into his chest. I believe we have a slash upcoming. Donald Gooley tried to rip it free of Loudon when he had it corralled. And Northwood will once again hand an opportunity to Davenport, their second 2-minute infraction in this third period. Both of them with this 3-1 lead as we get set to enter the 5 minutes of play. Final 5 minutes of play, that is. Another opportunity, up a man for Davenport. They win back the draw. Paulette, the captain, into the middle for a hot shot. That's high of everything. And off the backboards, taken away, Sigmund will send it down the length of the ice where Loudon will settle it. With more than 15 seconds gone, now 20 seconds gone on that penalty, and 5:05 to go in period 3. Robert McLaughlin flips it off the boards as they look to dump and chase. Northwood trying to handle it in back behind their goal. Baldwin has to be careful in order to not give the puck back in a vulnerable situation. Davenport, Blackburn, kicked off a skate up into the rafters. It stops play now with 1:13 to go. Of course, these two sides have met a few times before. I'm kidding, just once before. That was actually their first game in franchise history played between one another last night. Again, Northwood got away with a no call late in the game to win that one in overtime against Davenport. So a rivalry forming in just game one in school history between the two. Northwood able to clear the zone. That'll burn a few more off of it. Minute to go on the penalty and 4:27 to play in period 3. Of course, Davenport did have a history of winning championships in hockey. 2011 for the D1 team. Stretch of 3 straight from 08 to 10 for D2. McLaughlin with the seconds wearing down on that penalty. Hands it off Mikola. Byer, oh my goodness, nearly has it chipped away. Instead, McLaughlin able to recover it. Now Kelly, wrister, and the deflection sends it into the back of the net. Right when they needed it, they finally got it. And it's just a 1-goal game with 3:53 to play. Down, but not out. Davenport able to strike back inside of 4 minutes in this third period. After netting the first one to open this game. And now a breath of life for the Panthers. Northwood, couple of penalties, key penalties, and this is why playing with discipline in these situations is so important. Something Coach Vizina certainly stressed. Even in a high emotion-driven game, it makes all the difference in the world as they're able to string this one out in front, but ripped away by the Panthers. And Zach Schneider, who carries it in and tries to rip it back, and he does along the backboard. Centering drive, no one there. Rebound chance, and it's netted. Baldwin able to pull it in. 3:01 to go in the third period. And the lead stays 3-2 Northwood, but just 2 shots separating the two. 22 for the T-Wolves and 20 on the side of Davenport. Another face-off near the goal. DU wins it back. They try to knuckle one on goal. Northwood able to send it down the length of the ice. No touch on the way there. Duffney was the closest. Couldn't get a stick on it, though, and 2:52 will skate it right back down the other way. Talking about Sean Judd, sports performance coach for Davenport. It's interesting, one of the areas that he mentioned was getting this team to just not quit on themselves. Part of how intense those workouts are, just getting you ready. As they circle one to Fenlon, wrister, Baldwin knocks it down. What a save again. Ryan Fenlon was looking to add his first goal after adding his first assist just a night ago, but Baldwin got just enough with the big glove, and it's still a 1-goal game with 2:37 to go. Regardless of the way tonight goes, though, this Davenport team certainly looking new and improved. Just a very hard conference to navigate, even a hard non-con for that matter. As they throw, they look to dump and chase. Doing the chasing, Cameron Duffney cut off by that Davenport defense. Now with 2:20 to play, quickly approaching. 2-minute warning here in period 3. Brendan Bauer drops it off for a shot that's deflected high and wide. Bauer was looking to angle yet another one in. As we get into crunch time, and this one's pinned up against the corner. Jarred free. Sweltering offensive pressure, that forecheck right now for Davenport, trying to make the difference in this one. And they nearly work back a turnover. It's McLaughlin who was able to joust it free for a second, but only for a second. Northwood has been so aggressive tonight, trying to get the puck forward, but don't want to leave yourself vulnerable just like this. Nearly a backhanded opportunity as Bauer just tries a little no-look in front, but it's worked free. Davenport swarming. Panthers looking for a lane. Wind up, one-timer won't get through the host of bodies. 1:17 to go. They have pulled their goalie. DU call for an icing, and it will be. All the way down, Loudon is on the bench, 6-on-5. In 1:11 to go in the third period, and we are all even in shots on goal at 22. Wouldn't mind just playing this team all year, late and close. That's been the name of the game, an OT game a night ago, and it's 3-2 with 1:11 to go in this third period. Draw one by Davenport. Joppy tries to backhand it, but no one on the receiving end. So Stojewski gives it off for a wrister. That gets through! Somehow, some way, DU ties it at 3 with 59 seconds to play. Dylan Joppy. And in a 6-on-5 opportunity, after it seemed like the game was all but done, Joppy comes through in the 6-on-5. And now we got a brand new game, and we might have overtime for a second straight night, unless someone can sort this out right now. In back behind, Zach Schneider flips it up over the head of everybody and down the length of the ice. They will not call icing. Leo Crawford stops and plays it cross ice, where it's taken right back. Stojewski dances in, makes a man miss, gives it up, and they score! Oh, a pretty play, and the one-timer puts them in front 4-3. 22 seconds to play. Oh, captain, my captain! It's DU in front! Unbelievable finish. Paulette with 22 seconds to play. 3 goals in a matter of minutes and 22 seconds away from getting their first win. We'll see if they can close it out on the other end. This is DU Hockey on Flow Sports. An improbable, I'm sure some would say impossible comeback for Davenport. 3 goals in a matter of minutes. And they're trying to make it stand here in the final 22 seconds. They dump it into the Northwood zone. T-Wolves with it. Bryce Garber cutting coast to coast. Looking for a lane, throws one aside. Nobody there on the receiving end for Northwood, so they turn around and send one back. A mass of bodies, and they're able to clear the zone. Davenport. We're down 3-1 inside of 2 minutes. And they pull a rabbit out of a hat and get win number 1 here in 25. A comeback as improbable as it gets, and Davenport's able to get the job done. A big thank you to all you who joined us here tonight on the DU Sports Network. Next matchup for Davenport coming up against Drury again. You got 2 games against them on the road in Missouri, 26th and the 27th, and back home here on October the 4th. Game 2 against Indiana Tech in that home and away series. But for now, Davenport gets win number 1, 4-3. And until we talk to you guys next time, so long, everybody.